Ellie and Victor from 90 Day Fiance have a relationship update, and it is quite shocking. You guys will never guess it, but Ellie and Victor, they were just about this far from breaking it up and ending their relationship, and they ended up doing the complete 180 polar opposite, and they got engaged. Yeah, you guys will not believe it. Ellie and Victor from 90 Day Fiance actually got engaged. Here is the deal. We just saw in 90 Day Fiance that they were seriously seconds away from calling it quits and ending their relationship, and just, Ellie going back to Seattle and that being that. If you're wondering why, they got into a fight pretty much about nothing. Basically, they were going to convert their house into a bar slash house, and then I guess use the bar money to kind of live and support themselves. And because there are zero tourists there right now, Ellie had a legitimate concern. Are we going to be able to make any money because there are no tourists here right now? And Victor took it and ran with it and started saying this and that, and I'll give you all your money back and just get out of here. Let's just end it. And Ellie was like, I had a legitimate adult business concern that, there's no tourists here. Are we going to be able to make any money? And Victor just went crazy and ran with it, and it was just not being cool at all. And I felt really bad for Ellie. And so Victor was just kind of ranting and raving and screaming and said, I'd give you your money back and just get out of here and all this kind of stuff. But unfortunately, they're stuck on that island at their house that they are rebuilding together, so they had nowhere to go. And they ended up going to sleep, waking up the next day. Ellie was like, I don't know if we're just gonna call it quits or if I'm just gonna go, home by myself. I don't know what's going on. And then Victor said, let's talk. And they went for a walk on the beach and they talked. And he did apologize. Now, it was a sincere apology, I guess. But it's not that sincere. I keep reverting back to the fact that this guy cheated on her. Full on cheated on her. He was like living with another woman, never told Ellie, and Ellie found out because the woman told her. And when Ellie confronted this man, Victor, he still denied it and then ended up saying that, he got forced and tricked into doing this thing. So it's just like, I can't believe a word out of this guy's mouth. But he apologized and kind of admitted that the stress from the hurricane, which I agree probably was super stressful, but to take stress, from this situation and kind of roll into the other, I just think the issue is Victor is probably not making any money. So he wants Ellie to make the money, but he also wants to have this big show that he's kind of running the show and head of the house, when it's like, yeah, but she's supporting you financially. She's giving you this money, and technically, financially, she should be a head of the family because, she's the one, paying for everything. Kind of, somewhat, sort of. When it comes to the money decisions and whatnot, I think he wants to be the head guy in charge, and we got to see him buying a drill and whatnot, and he really wanted to be in control. But it's like, Ellie was like, well, it's my money, it should be my decision, and that is just that. So it was weird, just didn't make any sense. He was screaming, but they ended up talking, and they both kind of apologized. Victor did apologize more than Ellie, but Ellie, she apologized too, when I was like, you don't really need to apologize for anything, but she did. And then Victor ran and grabbed a conch shell and just said, hey, I got you a ring. Maybe he did, but I lost it in the hurricane. Maybe that's true. It also was a pretty good lie because you can't really prove it. So he said, I got you a ring, but it's gone now because of the hurricane. In exchange of a ring, here is this, magic conch shell, and will you marry me? And she just said, yeah, let's do this thing. So now they are engaged. They're going to be getting married. The weird thing is, spoiler alert, spoiler alert, but people have seen Ellie at her old pizza shop in Seattle working very recently. So in present day, did her and Victor break up? That's probably pretty possible. Or other possibilities, they're still together and engaged, and she just came back to Seattle to work for a little bit. That's a possibility too. Maybe there's some stuff going on with the visa thing and how, his visa coming here to America. Anything's possible. If I had to guess, I'd probably say it's about a 60% chance that they were going to make it work, and they got into another fight and probably another fight, and Ellie finally just said, listen, I'm done. I'm leaving. This is it. And she just went back to Seattle. But there's about a 40% chance that they are staying together, and she had to come back to America for work or for business or come check on the shop, because she still is, I believe, a co-owner of this pizza shop. So that could be a chance, but more than likely, from just how little Ellie and Victor were together and how much they were already fighting, if I had to guess, I'd say they probably already ended their relationship. So Ellie and Victor, as of now and present day on 90 Day Fiance, they are engaged. Let's just put a tack on that one and revisit this in a couple weeks and see what is actually going on. So more on them later. Now I want to fast forward to Kenny and Armando, because some kind of interesting things are going on with them. Basically, it's the day they're going to be getting married, and Armando's dad, keyword dad, We've seen him, he's very uncomfortable with this whole relationship. He's not really excited. He wasn't going to go to the wedding because he was so uncomfortable, but he decided, yes, he is going to now come, and he is there. He doesn't seem very excited, but he is at least there, which is really cool. However, Armando is now kind of dropping little tidbits of kind of little comments like, hey, Kenny, you know, my dad, well, no. His aunt actually texted Armando saying, hey, a couple weeks before the wedding, saying, hey, you know, your dad will go, but you have to be respectful at the wedding, which Armando just kind of translated that to mean you can't really show much affection with Kenny at the wedding in front of your dad, which is hard at a wedding. So it's a very weird situation. But, and once again, let me also say too, these timelines really don't make any sense, because on one hand, Armando's saying, you know, my dad is now coming to the wedding, and it was some last minute thing. Then on the other hand, he's saying that his aunt texted him saying that you can't show affection in front of your dad at the wedding. So I'm kind of like, well, which thing came first? But either way, the dad doesn't want to see them, you know, whatever, be touchy and affectionate at their wedding, which is a lot to ask for because it is their wedding. So I can see Armando's side, because this guy desperately wants to keep his dad happy and not make him disappoint him or whatever, which is really sad, and just, you know, brace your heart. But when he told Kenny, Kenny basically just said, listen. I mean, Kenny did not even process this. Kenny just said, listen, it's our wedding. Your dad can suck it up. And that is that. And you could just see Armando was like, oh, no, 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 no. So Armando, I think, basically wants to be not standoffish, but just until, you know, I don't know, it gets later, the adults are kind of hanging out, Kenny and his kids, and those kind of people, they're having fun. They're real true friends, and his family goes off to sleep for the night. And then they can kind of just be them true selves, which that's a very sad thing for Armando to want, but that is his wish, and it's kind of an interesting topic, and I guess you guys can comment below what you guys think they should do. Obviously, I know, we all know, I just said what Armando wants to do, but Kenny was like, no, 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 I want us to be natural, I want us to be our real selves, and if it makes your dad uncomfortable, so be it, and that's Kenny's thought. But my question is, should Kenny be more sympathetic for Armando and his feelings and him trying to, you know, be out with his family and whatnot? So, lot of kind of just moving parts in this situation. I will say it is pretty sad, because yeah, I just think Armando is between a rock and a hard place. It's like the guy is in a very sad situation when trying to keep his family happy and not disappoint them, and also be with a man that he loves. So it is sad, but at the end of the day, Kenny and Armando, they do love each other. I do think that Kenny can sometimes come off a little bit insensitive and not really care about Armando's feelings, but you know what? They're both cool. They both love each other. I think the wedding will be a huge success, and I'm curious to see. The dad does show up, so we've got to see in a sneak peek for the wedding in the next episode that the dad does show up. He is there. I'm sure he'll be fine. You know, he might kind of be walking in and out a lot, but I think he'll be there. He should probably be fine, and I highly, highly, highly doubt the guy is going to cause a scene. And for everyone else, I think it's going to be sunshine, rainbows, and happy, and it's a really good time. So Kenny and Armando, put in the comments below what you guys think, you know, Kenny and Armando should do. I'm really curious what you guys think. It is definitely a really kind of sad situation, though. But like I said, it's sad, but also the grand scheme of things, it's all pretty happy. Then we got to see Jenny and Sumit, and oh, yeah, Sumit, he just keeps, you know, pulling the rug under Jenny. To be honest with you guys, I'll make this real simple. I actually kind of thought that there was real, true, legitimate reasonings going on why Sumit could never marry Jenny. My naive, stupid, you-know-what actually believed that, because I figured, hey, maybe his parents just thought a 30-year age gap wasn't cool. Maybe his parents did force this arranged marriage thing. Maybe that was true. And it's like, you know what? We have to give Sumit some credit. We had to give him some credit that, you know what, maybe it was like he just, I don't know, he got put in these weird situations and he really couldn't marry Jenny because of outside circumstances. Well, once the parents gave him approval, I figured it's done. They're free and clear. Jenny and Sumit. This Sumit guy apparently loves her. We all know Jenny loves Sumit. And so it's over. They're gonna get married. It's great. But then when I saw what happened next, I don't understand. And this is where I kind of draw my line on Sumit. This is where I'm just like, no. I don't care if Sumit does actually marry Jenny. I do not care. One of two things is going on right now. Either it's fake, and that's a very, 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 very possibility that Jenny and Sumit, they don't have jobs, they make all their money from 90 Day Fiance, so it is very, 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 very possible that they are faking this drama. And when Sumit called the lawyer and said, hold the paperwork, I don't want to marry her just yet, it's very possible that that is fake. So keep that in mind. But what also is possible is that Sumit just has zero intention and desire to want to marry Jenny. And that's probably the more than likely possible thing, because like this guy will do anything to not marry this girl. Like literally anything. So if you don't know, that's what happened. They went to the lawyer. They got permission from the parents. They went to this lawyer. The lawyer said, okay, I'll file this paperwork. I'll file it right now. It was all great. Jenny was happy. Sumit was happy. Then they left the lawyer's office, and Sumit called the lawyer and said, hey, don't file the paperwork, which that in itself didn't make much sense because they had 30 days to talk it out once he filed the paperwork. So it's like, it wasn't this 24-hour thing. He had called and then, okay, no, he could have still filed the paperwork and then, like, you could have talked to Jenny that you were nervous, but he claims he's so nervous and he's so scared about marriage that he had to call the lawyer and cancel. It just cannot be true. So either it's fake, which is very possible, or Sumit just has absolutely 100% no desire whatsoever to marry Jenny. And it's either one of those. I have no idea which one it is. You guys can comment below. The thing I do now know, though, is we saw in a preview, and we have seen all over Jenny's Facebook. Jenny is horrible at hiding things. We've seen all over her Facebook that it looks like her and Sumit did get married. So maybe it was fake. Maybe they were kind of just trying to stall and add more cliffhangers and went on to the show. But if it is not fake, I think Jenny just twisted his arm and twisted and twisted and twisted. And finally, the guy said, listen, I'll do it. I'll marry you. But for him to call that lawyer that one last time, that just tells me either it's fake or he had 100% zero desire, nothing, no desire whatsoever at all to marry her. And he's a complete liar, and I cannot stand him. But either way, it makes Jenny just look so pathetic. I'm sorry, but it just does. She does not look good right now because it's like, it looks like, you're begging Sumit to marry you, and he is still saying no. So we're going to have to see what happens. Put in the comments below. But Jenny and Sumit, it's just embarrassing and not looking good for them. Then we got to see Ari and Binion. They're in a very odd situation for 90 Day Fiance because they kind of got approved for the interview. Not kind of, they did get approved for the interview for the K-1 visa for Binion to move to America, which is amazing, great. And it's kind of hilarious. If you don't know, it's a whole long story, but they were living in Ethiopia. Ari had to go back to America for some time. When she was there, Binion apparently might have kind of had some wandering eyes and whatnot, and some of her friends contacted her and said, hey, we're seeing Binion out with some lady people, and, Lord only knows if that's true or not, but that's neither here nor there. Anyway, Ari was humiliated. If he cheated or not, she was still humiliated and embarrassed, and she basically just told him, hey, I will never go back to Ethiopia ever again. And then a couple minutes later, they got the call from their lawyer saying that their K-1 visa interview got approved, and that Binion and Ari, really needs to go back to Ethiopia to do this interview. So they both now have to go back to Ethiopia, and Ari just said a couple minutes earlier that she will never go back there ever again. So it's a weird situation, and Ari is caught in the middle. She wants him to come to America, but for him to come to America, she has to go back to Ethiopia, but she doesn't want to go back to Ethiopia. It's, same old, just typical 90 Day Fiance pickle. They're here, they're there, they can't make up their mind, they can't make a decision, and so now she is likely going to have to go back to Ethiopia to be there for that interview, and so you can get approved, and we do now know, I'm sorry, if this is a spoiler to you, I do apologize, but it's like everyone knows. Binion, he's here in America. So I don't know if she goes to Ethiopia or not, but I do know the visa gets approved, he comes over to America, and they likely get married here in America, and he is still here in America. So I wish them well. Whenever there's kids involved, I always wish them all well. I said it before, though. If Ari would not have gotten pregnant, there is no way that Ari and Binion will still be together, but because of the kid, they're making it work, and I wish them well. So we got to see that. We also got to see Corey and Evelyn. I'll keep them very quick. Basically, if you want to know what happened, this is basically it. Nothing from the start of this season to now, because this season is almost done, by the way. Nothing has happened at all whatsoever in any way, shape, or form with Corey and Evelyn. They're about to get married. Corey asked his brother to come to the wedding. The guy blamed the pandemic, which is a pretty good excuse. And he also said, too, you've been gone for a few years. Our relationship has been totally distant. We have not gotten any closer. And, I don't want to come. And his mom won't come because his dad passed away and she hates traveling and probably the pandemic, too. And so it's like no one on Corey's side is coming. Now, I kind of think that Corey is just a tad bit of a user. And I'm sorry if that's not the case, but that's how it appears to be to me, that he just is a user. He has posted very weird things on his social media before that you can like buy him gifts and send him money, and I always thought that was kind of weird and fishy. And I just kind of think his family and friends are probably just sick of him being like that, and they're saying we're not going to come. That's basically what the brother kind of said, that because of that and how Evelyn was like, why would we come to your wedding? And it's a pandemic, it's like, we're not going to come. And then, you know, we got to see Corey meet up with Raul, his old friend, and it was the same kind of thing, that they just had not a good relationship. He felt like Corey was using him, and so, but ironically, he still wanted to go to the wedding, and Corey said, no, me and Evelyn decided you are not coming to the wedding. So Corey and Evelyn, y'all, if you didn't see it, you didn't miss much. Nothing really went on. It's like from the whole season with these two, literally nothing has been going on at all. And last but not least, oh my God, we got to see Steven and Elena. And if you've been watching my videos, you probably know very well I cannot stand him, but ugh. And everyone's probably going to say, what, do you just have a crush on Elena? No, I just think she's a very nice person, and she should be with a man that loves her. And Steven, I'm wishy-washy. I think he likes her very deeply, but I think he has a lot of things he needs to work out. And I think he's a little bit too immature to just jump into marriage. I'm afraid she might get hurt. But they're in Turkey. They went to this place to get the marriage license. They actually got it. She went dress shopping. She's super happy. She talked to her mom. Her mom said she's nervous. And it looks like they're actually going to get married. And there was a spoiler that came out with those two. So spoiler, spoiler, spoiler alert. But it sounds like they are still together in some capacity because they were found together in like Greece. So I don't know if they got married. It sounds like they probably did get married, but they were definitely in Greece not so long ago. But I kind of thought what was going to happen when I found out that they were still together. I kind of figured what happened was they didn't get married and they were just doing long distance, and then they just met up in Greece kind of thing. But maybe they did get married. Maybe they just went to Greece on a vacation. I don't really know. So Steven and Elena, either way, they are definitely still together. They probably did get married because she bought a dress, and we got to see their wedding ceremony and everything, so they likely do get married. I wish them both well. I'm not a huge fan of Steven, but if he's a nice guy off camera, that is just fantastic. Well, guys, 90 Day Fiance, we're getting down to the end of the season. I think we have probably, if I had to guess, we probably have one more episode, and then I know we probably have a 2-part kind of tell-all special, and then we're going to be done. So put in the comments below what you guys think. I'm ready for this season to be done for sure. This season, it wasn't bad, but it kind of got dragged on, kind of, number one. And yeah, I'm just ready. That's all I'm going to say. I'm ready for it to be done. We all know that we had 4 couples out of the 6 that we've seen. Jenny and Sumit, we know them. Corey and Evelyn, we know them. Ari and Binion, it was interesting at times, but even same kind of thing. And Kenny and Armando, they really had nothing going on the whole season too. Now, Steven and Elena, I thought they were interesting. And even kind of Ellie and Victor, they've not been on much season, but I do kind of think they are interesting to watch. So, yes, 90 Day Fiance, sorry for that little rant, but 90 Day Fiance, put in the comments below what you guys think. Hit that like, follow, share, subscribe button, and y'all better stay tuned for many more videos.